Welcome to another video, everyone. Today we are going to be looking at this speed metal map, and we're just going to be doing a map overview, teaching those who may not know how to play this map effectively, some of the details that may help them gain a slight advantage on the battlefield. So there's a couple things you need to be aware of with this map, and that is ask yourself, do you have teammates? Are you solo? Like, how many people do you have? Generally, I've seen this type of map played with maybe 4 people on occasions, so you might end up having like one here, one here, one here, and one here, and that'd be an opening. Another way would be just solo, and you'd probably open right here, or even a couple more variations I'm sure are out there. Now with this map, something that's unique about it is the fact that it has a very limited space. I mean, your starting sections are rather small, especially if you're going to be getting into just T3 and large amounts of economy. It begins to get overwhelming. Now, wind speed on this map, let's try to get this up here. Wind speed, you can see, is at 30 wind speed, which is insanely high, which causes you to just overflow energy generally really quickly. And then also the metal that you receive from building a mechs is extremely high as well. 31 metal per mechs, and that's just a T1. And then also something to be aware of is that your speed on your units has been turned up, so you now have a lot of unique things that you can do with that in mind. So it's a very different style of map compared to any other game that you would have played. Now, something you need to be aware of is if you end up wanting to do wind farms, the amount of energy you'll need will be massive. You'll end up taking up massive amounts of land with just wind. This is why going for wind only on this map is actually a pretty bad idea, just for the sake of space. Especially if you're doing 4-player games, you're going to want to be going for some advanced fusion reactors because of the limited amount of space you have. Buildings in this building on this map is very important. You want to make sure that you reserve your area and don't block the way. So what can end up happening is you'll end up building a lot of mexes, a lot of factories. You'll have maybe T2 and T3 factories built, and maybe they'll be here, and then you'll have build power here, and you'll end up blocking off massive sections of the map. Now what this does is it means that units cannot get through, and they end up getting blocked by what you build. And if you have like 4 people, then it gets really bad, because now you have a whole nother group of buildings here. And so trying to keep a pathway organized on this map is extremely important. Making sure that you don't end up blocking even maybe the center aisle, which would be a good spot for T3 units to start pouring out. Also, another thing on this map is the air unit. The air player is going to have a very pivotal role. That you can do some manipulations on this map and fly over these mountains and get a little bit of an advantage with with the fact that there's only one lane, one middle area you can travel. You can escape a lot of the heavy bombardments with air. So having one player go air is extremely valuable on this map and highly recommended. Even if you're doing 1v1s, I would recommend at least setting up a fighter wall with your air as a single player. That way you can defend against any bombing runs that may come your way. Also, another thing that's very useful on this map is the plasma cannons, the long-range plasma cannons. If you can take control of this center island and set up long range plasma cannons here and here, or even Ragnaroks, you can shell the enemy's base very heavily, and it will be very difficult for them to survive the attacks. So that's one way that you can actually beat the opponent rather easily. Another way is with bombing runs, or maybe the dragons, the flying fortresses that are available. That's another way. So yeah, just when playing this map, just be very aware. Oops, sorry, that is probably a little loud. Be very aware that your air is important and could cause you to win or lose the game if you don't have it. And then also be aware your space is limited, and you must work with your allies so that you do not waste the limited amount of space that you have. Try to be extremely organized in how you build so that you use your space very efficiently. Also, be aware that having Ragnaroks here or plasma cannons here are a very good way to gain a bit of an advantage. This is an extra area of space where you can build more aggressively and more have a little bit more of an attack formation here. So don't waste this middle section, and if your opponents end up getting control of it, it generally ends badly for you. So those are just some things that you should think about when doing the speed metal map. I know that this is a very popular map for new players, and honestly, a lot of people enjoy the scenario that this map is based on as well. So I hope that this video will give you a little bit of better fighting chance when you face your opponents on it. And if you have any other questions, or you don't think I covered a certain area very well, definitely leave a comment in the bottom of the video, and we can talk about more ideas for this map there as well. And also, we have a Discord page. We still have a couple memberships that are available for the founder role, and this is a special role that you can use to get inside locked conversations, locked conversation rooms, locked voice chat rooms. And this is just to make sure that those who come in early have a benefit of being able to stick together and know who was there first, and even have access to talking to me more readily as we continue to grow and as the game expands. So definitely take advantage of that if you have not already, if that's something you're interested in. And you can also work more directly with me in making videos or being featured in a video as well. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe. It helps a ton. And as always, guys, I will see you on the battlefield.